It won't be just the police playing the waiting game. The other main players in our targeting will also wait to see whether we succumb to a premature death by unnatural causes, which is probably the optimal scenario for them. Suicide might be the next best option, and then there's the potential of getting a lengthy, if not a life sentence, in a secure unit of a mental hospital or prison wing. None of the above figure in my ever optimistic outlook, but without money, the obstacles that comprise my targeting are much more difficult to avoid. I have virtual reams of evidence, yet it's ignored. Deliberately ignored or deliberately dismissed, and the police are allowed to get away with their underhanded tricks, despite better than credible evidence which any genuine jury would agree proves I'm a pariah. It will be a Pyrrhic victory for me when the truth does come to light, and I doubt the public will learn the whole truth regarding all of the targeting elements which help to diminish our targeted lives and who's involved, aside from the police and gang stalkers. I still cannot get my head around one part of my targeting, and I'm not referring to the burning sensations I get every night as I try to find a semblance of sleep in the flat. I will add to my mountain of proof of being a pariah with yet more videos. Before I start, I don't know how far beyond the British Isles our slang words have travelled. In the first video, I get called a munter. As you can see, the synonyms for munter are... If you have watched my recent video titled The Latest Obstacle Equans to Proving This Conspiracy, you'll know workmen and women refurbishing Dayak Court who work for the company Equans have been a little insulting to me as they work in and around our block. You'll hear a bit of drilling at the start of today's video before I get called an ugly munter. Is one of the Equans workmen outside the one being factual about my looks? I would argue one thing though. As munter means ugly, what he is in fact saying is ugly ugly. I think a better description would be you fucking munter or ugly cunt, or perhaps munting fucking weirdo. This next video was recorded from the hallway. I was hearing voices from the flat opposite, and though the tenant, I believe, listens to Hebrew sermons, religious speeches were not what I was hearing today. You may have seen my video where the female tenant with her children lob some verbal Molotovs my way. When she and her daughter moved in a few years ago, we were friendly, and we'd say hi if seen each other, and I helped her move some furniture. But then last year I was suddenly hearing verbal abuse from behind her flat door, and realised she and her family had been told the big secret I'm not allowed to know. I'm a little surprised she, her daughter, and the lesser spotted son are continuing to badmouth me, as I thought the housing officer might have visited them since his visit to us in October, where I asked him to investigate what had caused my popularity. In an email on the 1st of this month, he did state it was a priority and he'd contact me shortly. If you aren't aware, my goal is to prove my targeting and hopefully from there the gang stalking program. It will, as I've already said, be a Pyrrhic or hollow victory on a personal level, but might at least open doors and minds to the reality of our targeting.